Hi, I'm Jessica, and welcome back to my channel, Hero Born Stitches. It's been a minute since I have recorded. Since last week, I just had a very quick update because I really hadn't done any stitching because of my surgery. So I am back. I have a lot to share with you. Didn't get everything done I wanted to get done, but I do have a lot to share. I do have 2 finished objects. I do have updates on temperature stitching and Great British Baking Show stitching. I have a little bit of haul that I wanted to show you guys. And I don't know, other than a life update, maybe some plans, maybe that's about it. Maybe we'll be short. I don't know why I say that. We're never short. So yeah, so let's just go ahead and jump on in. As you can imagine, there has not been a whole lot happening in my life and my stitching world with my carpal tunnel surgery. I am glad to say that I am very much on the mend. I get this off on Thursday of this coming week, and they take the stitches out. My fingers finally are not swollen, and I could put my rings on, which was nice. And I am definitely going to have the other one done. It's funny how I just realized how numb my left gets now that my right is fixed. So although I hated missing the stitching time, it was okay. It was worth it at the end. I have switched locations. You guys might have noticed. I am now sitting in my guest room. It is the one room of the house that we are probably not doing some major renovations to. It has this old-fashioned wallpaper. We've got it kind of full with antiques and different things. So I would do it like camera turnaround to show it to you because it's really one of my favorite rooms in the house. But we kind of have storage stuff all over the place because we're trying to figure out where I want furniture still. We've only been here a year, over a year, trying to figure out where we want to put furniture and all of that stuff. So whenever I get it done, I'll show you guys. Yeah, so yeah, new location. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Yeah, so I've been trying to catch up on stitching. And I have caught up some. I'm not completely caught up, but I have made some headway, which I'm feeling good about. I have a really busy week coming up, but don't I always have a busy week coming up? So I'm not sure what next weekend is going to look like, but I'm going to try my best to get a bunch of stuff done. Other than that, like my life has been so boring. Work, and some time in the car. A friend of the family's of my husband's passed away, and he needed to go back to KC for the funeral. And he has narcolepsy and has been struggling a little bit to drive long distances, even with the medicine. So I got to drive to Junction City, Kansas, if anyone knows where that is, and back twice this week to drop him off, kind of meet his family, and then head back this way. Little fact, totally a digression, but little fact, like Junction City, Kansas has this gas station that we stop at sometimes, and there are bidets in the restroom, like public restrooms with bidets. I'm just not sure I'm down with that. That just does not seem okay to me. But yeah, that has completely nothing to do with stitching. I am going to diverge a little bit from stitching this time. Boy, I am just rambling today. I'm going to diverge a little bit from stitching this time because I do have some yarn and a new knitting project I will be starting soon that I just really felt like I wanted to share. So let's get started with my finished objects. Let's see, where on the table do I have these? So I did finish the Autumn Nights stitch along. This is where it was last time you saw it. And so I did get the whole thing finished. I will tell you there are lots of mistakes in this. I know where they are. I'm not sure anyone else would necessarily see where they are unless they spend a lot of time. I decided not to go down and rip out the bottom fall is in the air, even though it was 1 stitch over. I was just ready to be done with it. It was not a bad stitch, but it was just stitching a lot of the same things over and over again. And I'm completely a process person, and I really don't like repeating what I'm doing. Once I do it once, it's like I don't want to see it again. So that was a little bit challenging. But yeah, it's a good autumn decoration, and I'm glad to have it done and off of my list. So that is good. I'm going to tell you guys right now that I'm not sure how many pictures I'm going to be able to put either here or here today, because for some reason, like a lot of my picture files are getting corrupted. And yeah, it like I go to try to attach them and they won't attach, something's going on. So I might not be able to do that. I did want to make a correction on that. I have a number of corrections I need to make this video because I started thinking about those as I was going through. So I think I told you guys that this was just a Zweigart even weave. That is not true. My gridiron grind is just on a 28 count Zweigart even weave. This is on a 27 count. It's just an even weave. It's a Linda cloth actually from the Digi Stitchery. And it's new. This is the first time I've ever stitched on it. And I think I told you guys before, I like it. It's at a really good price point. This is just sugar cookie, so it's almost nothing on it, but they do have some very interesting prints on there. I have a dog trying to get in. They do have some very interesting prints on there. Not that I bought any of those. I do like it. It does seem to fray at the ends a lot. So if you are not a person who likes to stitch around the edge, and I really don't, you are probably going to want to on this, because I felt like I was internally picking threads off. So the other piece that I got done was, yay, the Spooky and Sweet from Temperature Stitching. So this is where it was last time you saw it. I think I have that one. And you can see it is now done. Again, I have some spacing issues on this, but I do not care. I'm just glad to have it done. All I had left to do were these 3 little motifs down here. And this is very strange because it actually came up over the last 2 weeks in Temperature Stitching 6 times. Like the powers that be wanted me to get this done. And I thought I'd certainly have it done in 2 times and be able to move on to something else. And I had picked something else to replace it. And I just figured I'd see how much it took me to get done with this. It took me 500 stitches to get done with this. Like these little motifs right here. Just these 3, this little green candy corn and this little, I don't know what that is. That's a little candy and the little pinwheel thing. That was like 500 stitches. I was just a little bit over 500 stitches. So it definitely was enough to get it done. And so I was glad to get it done and off my list. But the thing I was replacing it with, I thought I would have more time on than I did. But I did get to it for the one time that it came up after I had finished the 5. So that was good to get started on that. Before I jump into temperature stitching, I do want to show you my stitch along progress. So I did finish the whole first clue from the Holiday House stitch along by Satsuma Street. I guess I could fold that over there. Makes it a little bit more manageable. So this is part 1. Part 2 came out last Friday, and it is Sunday, September 28th, I think. So I am definitely needing to work on that if I'm going to get it done. I love part 2. I love this. I love the way it turned out. There's a lot of color changing in it. So it went a little bit slower than I hoped it would go, but it was really a fun stitch. I love part 2. I just have not let myself start part 2 because I wanted to get a certain amount of stuff done so I could record and move forward. So this is definitely getting part 2 done is on the high priority list for a dog trying to get in for next week. I don't really think I showed you guys where I was. Maybe I did. I don't know. Maybe showed you guys what it was supposed to look like. But I'm not going to give away part 2, so I'm not going to put part 2 up until I actually have that stitched. So yeah, and I don't know whether you can tell. I'm being really bad about telling you guys what things are stitched on. So this is 32 count raw silver by Zweigart. I'm not sure if all that sparkly is picking up. It kind of looks like it might be. Super, super sparkly. And I could not be happier with my choice of fabric on this. It just feels like it's bringing Christmas magic to it. So really excited to get to part 2 on that. I should say, just in case, so this is on 28 count, even weave charcoal dyed effect by Fabric Flair with called for classic colorworks. And this was on that Digi Stitchery with called for classic colorworks also. Okay. Now that we have that done, we can look at the rest of temperature stitching. Okay, temperature stitching. Before I jump right on into that, I feel like I need to clarify some of my comments from before. So if I have not shared this before, or if you did not know this, I have 4 Irish Wolfhounds, which are very, very large dogs. My largest of which is my first one, and she is about 190 pounds. So she is very, very large. And she is absolutely my baby. And I'm sure she hears my voice in here and just wants to come in and say hello. And I would let her come in and say hello, but we don't really let the dogs in the guest room because we have some company that comes that have some allergy issues. So this is kind of the safe space for them. Plus she really needs groomed. So yeah, I hope you'll be able to see her someday. Okay. So temperature stitching. So other than the 5 times that I needed temperature stitching wise to finish off Spooky and Sweet by Fat Quarter Shop, I have a number of other projects that came up because of course there's 2 weeks worth to look at here. There's 2 projects that came up twice and then the rest only came up once. So the first one that came up twice are my little kitten ornaments. This is what it will look like at the end. And this is what it looked like last time you saw it. I finished all the little bit of cross stitch I needed to do on this and started the back stitching. And I have like all of the head done and this little, whatever this thing is, I have no idea what this thing is. It's kind of striped, but it's green. I'm at a loss as to what this is. What side do I want this on? Okay. So yeah, it's, I still need to do the back stitching on the little ribbon on the head and the tail and the other hand and the feet and the dress. Like I said, these are really back stitching heavy. So the 200 stitches got me all finished with the stitches. And then really a good healthy start on the back stitches. I do count 2 back stitches as 1 stitch when I'm doing my stitch counts. So this actually finished this off. I think maybe even just one of them finished that off with its 1,000 stitches for temperature stitching. But I am keeping this in temperature stitching until this one is all done and backstitched. And the other one that is like half backstitched, started backstitching until that's all done. I want to get those 2 ornaments done before I move them out. The other one that came up twice. So this is a kit by Something Special. It's just on a 14 count Aida by just the materials that came in the kit. The other one that came up twice is my piece sampler. This one that clearly I started back in 1999. This is what it will look like when it's done. This is what it looked like last time you saw it. And this, like I said, came up twice. This is on that mystery fabric, the kind of reclaimed fabric that I found at probably an estate sale or a junk shop or something. And what I did with those stitches is I just okay, I can't do this. Okay, over on this side, I just brought this tree up. So I actually ran out of the color that this tree was in, but I did get my 200 stitches plus a little bit out of it. I think this only has a couple more times in temperature stitching before it's done. There's not really a ton more work left on it, but I don't know. I'll talk about that in a sec. I think I might just continue for the most part to switch stuff out when it reaches its 1,000 stitches. If you are new to my channel and you don't know what I'm doing for temperature stitching, I'm really kind of copying a couple of people who are out there. I take 10 whips that I have and assign them to a digit 0 through 9. And then I look at the temperature, the projected high temperature for the day. And I do 100 stitches on whatever whip corresponds with the last digit of that temperature. And I try to keep them in there until they are all in there until they at least get 1,000 stitches. So they get called 10 times. I reserve the right to leave them in there longer if I just really need to see them done. There were several of them that I really thought I was going to leave in for a long time until they were done. But yeah, I have decided to pull them out. Okay, so this is one that I thought I was going to leave in the whole time, and I am still a little bit unsure of whether I'm going to do that. So this is from an Antique Samplers book. There's no artist listed for it, but I'm just doing it with the called for DMCs on that mystery linen. As far as temperature stitching, that came out once. Extraordinary Birds, my newest add-in to temperature stitching, came out one time. So I made a little bit of progress on there. I am still on release 10, and all that I did was this little black stuff. I cannot do this to save my life. This little black stuff over there. When I am working on these releases, I like to kind of work from whatever color of floss has the most stitches in it. This isn't Pattern Keeper for me. Whichever has the most stitches left, and in this case it's 310. Often with this it is 310. And try to do all of that I can without doing heroic counting, and then slowly work my way down. I considered pulling all of the releases in the 10 through 14, but I'm afraid I might get a little bit overwhelmed if I do that. So I just decided to pull them in one at a time, finish them one at a time. Like I said, I've got some big FOMO after watching everybody get this finished. So I definitely want to get it finished because I have so many other things going on. It was hard to find time for it. So that's why I stuck it into temperature stitching. So I know there's at least a fair chance it'll get called. This is what it looked like last time you saw it. Like I said, not a whole lot of progress. So this is being done with called for DMCs on, I want to say this is 28 count Stormy Night, Even Weave by Zweigart. Of course, I have notes someplace, but it would be ridiculous to bring my notes along with me before I started filming. Why would I do that? Okay, so that was called once. My little Santa bell pull was called once. This is what it will look like when it's done. I'm sorry, terrible, terrible picture. And this is what it looked like last time you saw it. This was, I knew I was definitely sticking this into temperature stitching because it's low hanging fruit. It is not going to take me long. There is this Santa that is all done. This Santa, some more border stripes, a third Santa and border stripes. And this was just 100 stitches, and that was just this area right here. So this will definitely stay in until it's done. I did not go back and do the little trees up here. I guess I could have done that. I do not have the charms. I think I might have the beads, but I don't have the charms for this anymore. So I'm going to start going on a charm hunt to try to get some charms delivered. So when I'm done, I can actually finish this entire thing. But yeah, just really cute little Santa bell pull. This was a kit. I cannot remember the name of the kit. It came with the floss, and the floss is all DMC floss. I did make some substitutions because I think I just pulled off out of what that I had. I don't think the floss, not even sure I bought the kit. I know that the kit is available up there on Etsy or eBay or something like that. And it did have all the floss in it. I don't think I bought the kit. I think I just bought the pieces separately because I know I substituted in different colors of floss. But like I said, I think I have the beads. I'm not sure I have the little jingle bells and the other things that go with it. So yeah, gonna have to do like a charm hunt here pretty soon to figure out what I'm doing with that. So that's Santa's bell pull. Got one time. Nature's Window got called once. This is what it will look like when it's done. This is what it looked like last time you saw it. And because it was only called once, there's not huge progress here. What I stitched was over here in these flowers. I added some yellow into there and some yellow into those flowers over there. So yeah, making progress, slow progress, but progress nonetheless. So this and the Santa one were the ones that I found in the needlework basket that I had really thought were lost. So I'm glad that they're both in temperature stitching and we're getting a little bit of progress on there. So this is just a 14 count off-white Aida. I'm using all of the floss that came with the kit. I'm not remembering the name of who put the kit out. I know it's called Nature's Window though. Yeah, and it's like all BMC colors. So this is something that a friend of mine gave to me. Like I said, okay, so I thought about this when I was stitching this week. Like I said, I am 100% a process stitcher. I will never stitch the same thing twice. I know I will not. I say that, but maybe if there's a really long distance in between it, like there's one project I am thinking of specifically that I know I finished off that I might, but it was like 20 some years ago, so I might go back and stitch it. But I was thinking about this because this is so bright and so fun and so many fun colors and all of that. If there are ever charts that you are interested in that I am stitching, that are the older charts like this, or even this, that it's really hard to get a hold of anymore, let me know. I am more than happy to send charts along when I am done with them, because like I said, I won't stitch them again and I'm not going to charge anybody anything for them. But I would be more than happy to send them to someone and gift them to somebody who would do them because, yeah, this just seems like a nice thing to do. Okay, and then next piece of temperature stitching I had was from the Prairie Schooler, from the GHI. This is the H out of GHI. This is what it looked like last time you saw it. And I just kept going with my dark brown, my 3371. That little bit over there in the corner that you can see down here, that really turns into the letter H, but it's kind of hard to tell right now. This time that it came up finished off its 1,000 stitches in temperature stitching. And I was thinking about keeping this one in because it's really nice, easy, relaxing stitching for me. But I do have so many old whips that I want to get going on, at least put some progress in on. So I am going to switch that out. So next time its number gets called, you will be seeing a new piece of temperature stitching for that. I think I'm putting in the Elizabeth Burkham sampler. If you guys go back, I want to say video 2, where I go through all of my whips, you'll see it in there. It is out of that same antique sampler needlework book that the piece sampler is out of. It's the one I was making for my sister that just has some, like an alphabet in the middle. That's 1 over 1 that needs to be finished, and then something to finish off the bottom because the piece of fabric I started doing it on was too short. So I need to kind of make an adjustment for the bottom. That is definitely low hanging fruit. That should get done very quickly, but I think I'm going to substitute that one in next time that number gets called. And the last piece of temperature stitching I have to show you guys is the piece that I put in when I took Spooky and Sweet out, and it is that October Sky sampler. And I really should have looked at who this is by before I sat down to record this. I think I have a picture of it, what it will look like when it's done. I might put it over here. I don't know. I'm sorry, this is very wrinkly. I decided not to be ironing all of my stuff before I came to getting like stuff through there, like through there. I had been really good at ironing all my stuff before I came to record, but it got wrinkly so quickly. And I really didn't like what it was doing to the stitches. It was like I put it on like things that are supposed to be safe to iron, but I just don't think they were meant to be ironed that much. So I just kind of decided you guys can look at wrinkly. Yeah, so October Sky, I will put in who it's from down below. I will look that up. So this is almost pathetic. This is still a whip. What I did, I looked at it. All that I did was finish. So this is satin stitch. There's some satin stitch going down right there. I don't know if you can see that. So I finished the satin stitch, and then I just finished the cross stitch on the border and the border down there. And that is the end of it. So I just have 2 spots left to stitch here, and they're not very big. You can see that this is not a very big piece because this is a charm. This is a charm. This is a charm. Yeah, there's several charms. It is beads also. I do have the beads, I believe. If not, I might have to order them in. The biggest thing, so finishing those 2 little sections is not going to take me very long. The biggest thing that's going to take me some time is there is this like jig-jaggedy, you can maybe see on the picture, jig-jaggedy border that is done with the over-dyed floss on this. And it's all satin stitch, and it's not going to be hard. It's just going to take a minute. So this is the other reason why I was thinking with that Santa that I need to kind of do some charm searching, because even with that satin stitch border, this is not going to take that long to get done. And I will definitely finish this one off before I pull it out of temperature stitching, just like I definitely will finish the Elizabeth Burkham sampler off before I pull it out of temperature stitching. But yeah, so this has been hanging around for almost 30 years in this state of, I don't know, waiting. So yeah, so putting that into temperature stitching felt really good. Yeah, I'm kind of having I'm having a little bit of a crisis with temperature stitching. I enjoy doing it. I love making progress on everything I'm doing, but I also, like, I don't really care if I get things finished. I just really want to get some things off the list because I'm very good at guilting myself. And there are so many things that I want to start. And even though I really only have like 32 whips, which I know is a relatively small number out there, I still feel like that's too much. So, and I want to start all the things right now, all of the things I want to start. I'm really itching. In fact, I almost said, okay, let's do another wheel and you guys can help me choose my next whip to start. But I have one that's in Great British Baking Show that I haven't started yet. That is a new start. And I have a couple other things I'm thinking about. So I thought, well, maybe I'll hold off on that for a little bit. Speaking of Great British Baking Show, let's talk about that. So Jessie Marie Does Stuff has a Great British Baking Show game that she is hosting. She started it last year, and it has, so we are taking things that happen with the Great British Baking Show or the Great British Bake Off. It's a UK show. We take certain things that happen and we stitch when they happen. So there's like a star baker who wins the week. There's someone who gets eliminated every week. There's a technical competition where there is a definite winner or loser on. And so there's stitches assigned to all of that. And then also if someone gets a handshake from Paul Hollywood, one of the hosts, which is, I almost called him a ghost. I don't think he's a ghost. Maybe I've just been listening to too much Taylor Swift. But yeah, if someone gets a Hollywood handshake, then that is stitches also. So this is another area that I needed to make some corrections. Last time I recorded, like, I do not know what was happening. Like I said, my math was not mathing. My words were really hard. They were coming out really, really hard. I don't know what was happening there. But with the Great British Baking Show, the Star Baker, I'm doing 700 stitches for. The project that gets eliminated, I'm doing 500 stitches for. Winner of the technical challenge, it's the number of stitchers left, number of chefs left times 50. Loser of the technical challenge, number of chefs left times 25. And the Hollywood handshake is 500. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. So from week 1, I still had a piece that I had not finished. And I'm going to tell you right now, I will spoil. I will only spoil up to the point that I have stitched, but I will spoil. So if you do not want, to know who has won, just like look away, put me on mute. I don't know. Do something for a while. I've thought about trying not to spoil because I know some other stitchers who are doing this game are not spoiling, but I don't trust myself not to do that. I will probably use the names, even if I don't mean to. So be prepared for spoilers. Okay. So week 1, which was like week 4 just aired 2 days ago. So I don't feel too bad about spoiling week 1. So week 1, Hassan got eliminated. And the piece I had assigned to him was my Steady Thread Blackwork sampler piece. I had been working on this for Kenny Stitches, abandoned SAL, and made some good progress on it. I still owed 7 lengths of floss to it at the end of that SAL because I was doing 1 length of floss a day. This is where it was last time you saw it. And because Hassan got eliminated, it was 500 stitches that I needed to do on this. And I hadn't done it the first week because I really did not know what I wanted to do with these little circles and all these different motifs in the circles, whether I just wanted to stay all black, whether I wanted to put some color in. I just really didn't know what I wanted to do. So clearly I opted to put some color in. I did all 7 strands and that got me over 500 stitches. I think it was like 567 or something like that. And because it's black work, I was counting like 2 stitches as 1. And all that I did, like this part is just done in black coffee. And this is on, like, this is on, I don't want to say, I think it said on the thing it's 14 count. I don't really think it's 14 count, but it's on an Ada by Fiber on a Whim by Cafe, blah, 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 that I can't pronounce the name of. But this is all black coffee. And what I did was I just took pieces of thread I had left over from other projects that were Classic Colorworks, and just were using those on the motifs. Now, I'm not 100% happy with my decision here to do this. I think I might have liked it a little bit better in black, but you know what? I had to make a decision. And like, I say that I really liked the red one when it was done. I'm like, yeah, let's keep going with that. And then I was like, yeah, I'm not sure I like the other colors, but I think at the end of the day, it'll be good. So I'm not going to stress about it too much. This is going away for a while after putting 31 thread lengths into it over the last couple months, and then doing it for the Bake Off show. I'm kind of done with it for a while. So it's gonna go away for a little bit, but it might reappear for something else. I just need to kind of not look at it for a bit. Okay, so other bake-off stitching. This is another area where I needed to make a correction. I think I said that Nadia had won week 1 and she had not. It was Natalia who had won week 1. So that was the stitching that I did. So week 2, I did the winner of the technical challenge and the one that was eliminated. And that's as far as I got into week 2. So I am like 1.5 weeks behind there. The winner of the technical challenge was Toby again, and his piece was Latitude, which I needed to put like 400, I don't know, I'm not going to try to do math again, especially not while I'm sitting here. I needed to do a good number of stitches on it for his technical win. This is also the piece that I'm using for Andrew the Runner Stitcher's Whip into Shape Challenge for his New York City Marathon. And yes, I'm 100% double dipping on those stitches. So I forget how many stitches I put into this, but it was a lot. I want to say it was like almost 900 by the time all was said and done. This is Latitude by Long Dog Samplers, one of their newest releases, and it is on Tornado by Fox and Rabbit. I want to say this is 32 count. I'm not completely sure. I love this fabric. Ooh, it's just so good. And I am using Silks for You PR010, just kind of this nice dark green on it. I could work on Latitude all day long, every day, and not be mad at it at all. It is so much fun to stitch. I think what I'm going to do is finish off page 1. This is page 1, and it goes down a ways further. Then I think I'm just going to stitch across. I think I want to say it's 4 pages across. It might just be 3 though, but I'm going to stitch across the top and then start working my way down, I think. Because it's a long dog, I have this in markup. So I have an idea of how many stitches I've done, but I am failing at using markup. I can use Pattern Keeper without a problem. I can do everything I want to do with Pattern Keeper, but Long Dog doesn't go into Pattern Keeper very well. So I downloaded Markup XP, and I think maybe I just need to watch some videos, because right now it's really frustrating me and I want to be able to use it and use it well. I did go ahead and download Saga, not the Long Dog piece, but the stitching thing. Also, because I've heard really good things about it. I don't have any patterns that can go into it right now, but yeah, apparently I'm just collecting things to track my stitches in. A lot of my patterns, however, are paper patterns, and I have not taken the time, and probably will not take the time, to put them in to one of those programs. Even though I love the programs, I love working with them. I don't know. I'm not sure I can do that. I'm not sure it's worth the time to do that. So yeah, so Toby won the technical challenge again. So I got to do some more stitches on that. And the other piece that I did, Leighton got eliminated. So I did the 500 stitches on his piece for being eliminated. His piece, and I hope I put pictures up there for Latitude, I may or may not have. His piece was Princess and the Pea, and this was former temperature stitching and my second oldest whip. And this is where it was last time you saw it. I was kind of sad to see it get pulled out so quickly without very many stitches, but I do have somebody who I just assigned my choice to. And so it might come out again for temperature stitching. So 500 stitches, I just put into, it's all one color, just put into the title, The Princess and the Pea, at the top there. That went so quick. Nice, easy, quick stitching. Really do want to get this done. So I don't know, if I don't use it for my choice temperature stitching piece, I think I might rotate it back into temperature stitching. I need to think about that a little bit. There are some pieces that I rotated out that when some things are done, I really would like to rotate them back in. So yeah, this is Hickory Hollow, just a off-white Ada with DMC. It's one of those old patterns too. And I don't know whether you could see it on there, but there are some stains on this fabric from when the house flooded, the basement flooded. So yeah, those are there still. So those are all the things that I managed to work on over the past 2 weeks. And I'm kind of proud of that, because working on them was not always very easy, but I did kind of make a little bit of headway. Got 1 week completely caught up, I think, and really made some progress on the other weeks. So I'm still about a week and a half behind on everything. I did not do any stitching for Gridiron Grind. I owe 1 week worth of Whip into Shape stitching. I am 1.5 Great British Baking Show stitching behind. My temperature stitching is all caught up. I'm not behind on my stitch along, but I do need to get it done by Friday to not be behind. So I think those are going to be my priority. I think it's going to be temperature stitching and the stitch along are the priority, and then probably Great British Baking Show, trying to get that caught up a little bit more. Like I shared with you last time, I'm kind of struggling with my gridironed grind piece. I don't know. I might work on it today. We'll see. We'll see if we get there or not. I did do some more Great British Baking Show stitching. The person who lost the technical challenge actually lost the technical challenge the second week and ended up being eliminated the third week and ended up being eliminated that week. And so I just figured I would do all the stitching on their piece at one time since I could do that. So yeah, that's what's going on. Let's see. I don't know. Anything else to talk about stitching wise before I get into haul? Maybe just, I don't know. No, I'll just cut it off. We'll get into haul here. Okay, let's get going with haul. Like I said before, I really am actively trying not to add to my stash because I have plenty, but sometimes I just can't resist. Just like I'm trying not to add to my whips, but sometimes it happens. Like I shared with you on the little brief thing last week, I did buy a ticket to Harvest Moon Hangout hosted by Lindy Stitches. I did just kind of lurk in the background. I really thought, I mean, there were some people there I would have loved to have chatted with a little bit. I just wasn't feeling super chatty. So I did get some stuff there. Not a ton. I did pick up the Gloriana silk pack. They called it like the newbie pack, but I'm definitely not a newbie to silk, but I do not have any Gloriana silk. So I really wanted to try it, and it seemed to be a good way to do it because it is a little bit challenging to find. So I picked up that silk pack. One of the other things that I picked up was some of the fabric that was special just for the event. So this is Fiberlicious Fibers, and this is Sepia Sorcery. I think I got 36 count. And oh my gosh, is this beautiful. I saw pictures of it beforehand, of course, because Lindy Stitches showed us what it was going to look like. But I still gasped when I opened it up and saw how beautiful it was. I don't know what I'm doing on this yet, but I'm super glad that I got it. Yeah, and it's just beautiful. So I need more fabric, like I need a hole in the head, but I still got more fabric. And the other thing I picked up at Harvest Moon Hangout, really, I was trying not to buy any charts. They have some exclusive charts there, and I really liked them. But like I said, I'm trying not to add to my stash. And I had them all in my cart at one point, and I had like floss packs in my cart and the fabric. And then I went, oh, man, do I really need to do that? And so I really thought about it. It's like, can I live without any of these? And yeah, the decision was I really could probably live without them because I have other pieces, other Halloween pieces, other fall pieces that I really want to start that I probably like more than those exclusive charts. So I did not end up buying those, but I did end up buying a chart. One that I knew I could not live without, and I have been wanting to buy it for a while. So this is the chart that I bought, the Enchanted Quaker by Luminous Fiber Arts. I've made no bones about the fact that I love Luminous Fiber Arts Halloween, and I love Quakers, and I am just really digging single color pieces right now. I just really want to stitch single color pieces all the time. It's just very soothing to me at the moment. So I saw this, I was just like, oh yeah, no, that's coming home with me. So I have that one. Those are the things that I picked up at Harvest Moon Hangout, and that's it. I am excited for the Jingle Ball though, their next online event, and I'm trying to make sure I have nothing else on that weekend. I think it's a weekend right before finals week for us. So I should be in pretty good shape. I should be able to hang out all weekend. My haul did not end there. However, I was looking through things and I realized I had some more haul to show you guys. The first one is that quilted Tiny Town. I told you guys that I was going to get it, and I did. I am just definitely a collector of the quilted Tiny Town, the Tiny Town patterns by Heart and Hand. So I did want to go ahead and pick up the quilted Tiny Town because, you know, I need to have the entire set. I still would very much like to finish those someday, to start and finish those someday. I don't know when that's going to happen. Next piece of haul that I have to show you, I've been waiting for, the Witchy Stitching book. I was a little bit late in ordering this, and it was all sold out and back ordered and all of that stuff. So I kept on, like, I think I had to 2 or 3 times tell them, yes, I still want it. No, don't cancel the order. Yes, I'm willing to wait. If you guys have not looked at this book is just amazing. I watched somebody going through it, and I can't remember which FlossTuber I watched go through it, but I watched somebody kind of go through the patterns in it and just absolutely fell in love with so many of them. Like many, many of them. I think these ones on the back are some of my favorites. If you guys haven't seen those, let's see if I can get that there without glare. That Nevermore at the top, and then those at the bottom. The back crew. But no, I mean, I think I want to stitch every single thing in here. So it was definitely worth the wait and definitely worth the purchase. And like, as you can tell, I just start flipping and I can't stop myself from flipping. So the only other I don't know, does this count as stash? I think it probably does. The only other stash that I got was the fabric came in for 6 portals, which looks like that. I had downloaded that crazy expensive chart, but I did download that sometime since I recorded a full video, and really am eager to start it. Now, again, another correction. I think on my last video, I said that Kim the Spartan Stitcher, I liked how she was doing it. I don't even know if Kim the Spartan Stitcher is doing it. I would have to double check. It was Jen the Caffeinated Crafter who was doing it, just doing scattered stitches all the way across the top for every portal just to kind of set the places. And then she was working, I think she's currently doing 300 stitches a week and then rotating between the portals. I loved the idea of that. And that made this almost million stitch piece seem very doable to me, and very attractive because I wouldn't just be working on the same portal all the time. Like I think I said in my short video, I tend to start upper left and work down, sort of diagonal, sort of cross country. It kind of depends on what I'm in the mood for. And I just thought I would get bored by not working on all the portals. So yeah, so my full yard of 28 count gridded fabric came in. So yeah, I have all, well, I don't have all the floss. What I decided to do is I took, for the most part, not completely, but I identified 2 colors that seemed pretty dominant on the top of each portal. And I want to work across the top using just those 2 colors and not just one. I don't trust myself with just one. But I figure if I'm doing 2 and I have extra points to check them with, I feel pretty safe there. So I went and made sure I either dug through what I had in my stash or went out and bought what I needed for those 12 colors across the top, and really almost started that last night. I told you guys I'm really super, super, super wanting to start all of the things right now. And this is something that I am absolutely wanting to start. I'm almost thinking about switching this in for gridiron grind instead of what I was doing for gridiron grind, since I'm kind of struggling with that right now. Just trying to figure out if I'm going to be stubborn about that or not. But yeah, so 6 portals, love it. Really eager to start it. Trying to not start it. The other piece that I'm really wanting to start is that Enchanted Quaker by Luminous Fiber Arts. Trying really hard not to start that also. But it's like going to be October soon. So it seems so appropriate to be doing it. but I think I'd feel better about doing it if I wasn't behind on things already. And you know, it's stitching. It's what I'm doing for fun. It's my hobby. It's supposed to be relaxing and all of that. So why? Why don't I let myself do anything? I don't know. The other haul, and I guess, well, okay, two other pieces of haul, I guess. First is, it's kind of a weird piece of haul. I'm not even sure if it counts as haul. Is this cabinet. I am addicted to Facebook Marketplace, and there is also buy, sell, and trade for the area up on Facebook. And so I look on that way too often. And this cabinet came up, and it was very well priced. Very, very well priced for what it is. And it is solid as can be and cute. Like the color was really super cute. And I had this space in my bedroom that I knew it would fit perfectly and allow me to kind of organize some of my cross stitching stuff a little bit more. And not that, I mean, like I've shared with you guys, my house is ridiculous. It's ridiculously big, but I was not finding a really good place to organize a lot of my my whips when I pulled them all out. And I just kind of found that they were sitting all over the place. And making the bags really kind of helped a little bit. I need to make more bags, but it really kind of helps. You feel like they're a little bit more organized, but having a place to put them really helped. So yeah, so here it is. It was very well priced. I will tell you, significantly under $100 for that cabinet. And you can see I have started putting some things in there. And you can also, if you look very closely, see why I need bags, because so many of these are like sitting in like saddle grocery bags. But yeah, so this is that corner of my bedroom. On one side, you can kind of see going into my bathroom a little bit, I think. And yes, that's carpet on the bathroom floor, which is gross and which I would not want there. But my bathroom is legitimately 30 by 40. And like anything like the shower or the toilet or the sinks or the tub or any of that, they all have marble around it. It's just the other areas that have carpet. And there's like literally 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 big closets and 2 big built-in dressers that are attached to that and 2 doors that go to the outside. I have the strangest bathroom in the entire world. So yeah, you can see my bathroom on one side, and what I think if you can see it on the other side, I don't know whether you can, that is going into like my office area craft room where I have lots of stuff. Great room. There's a good fireplace in it, all of that stuff. I just need to show you guys. But there's almost no wall space. So it makes it really hard to put things up and organize. So there is wall space. It's just covered with other things, I guess. So yeah, somebody painted everything in this house a shade of brown at some point, and we have not gotten to my bedroom yet or redone the bathroom or a lot of the different areas. So, okay, I am going on about haul now. And my bathroom. So other things that I got since I've talked to you guys last. So I am a huge Stephen West fan. Huge, huge, huge. I think he is just brilliant. I have learned to be such a better knitter by doing some of his patterns, and specifically his mystery knit-alongs that happen every fall about this time. And his mystery knit-along for this year starts next week. I always do the mystery knit-alongs. Most of the time, I'm pretty good about finishing them. I don't know whether I finished the last 3. I hope not more than 3. But it's a lot of knitting. It is a lot of knitting. And his construction is always like really super interesting and doing stitches I haven't done before. And it's fun. It's fun. They can be really super crazy if you want to go crazy with color, or they can be really super muted and a little bit more traditional. But so it's always a shawl, his mystery knit along. I always indulge and buy yarn from Amsterdam, which is where Stephen is located, for the mystery knit along. I like to get his kits. I shouldn't say always. There's one year that I actually dyed my own yarn, but he had this new base in his own yarn. that's called Hex. And this was one of the kits that he had put together. And that yellow is a little more grainy than it's showing up there. And this is not black. This is a very dark green too. So yeah, so I bought the kit of all the colors for the Mr. Knit Along. We needed 4 skeins of 4 different colors. They could be speckled. They didn't have to be solid. But I really liked the kit. And he has some beautiful, beautiful kits. The Punk Rock Unicorn kits are probably my favorite. And I almost got some of those. He has mystery kits too, and I'm always good for a mystery. But I really wanted to try the new base, so I held back and just bought the Hex, his new yarn, his West Wool yarn. So that came in the mail, and like I said, that's starting next week. And then because I'm ordering yarn from Amsterdam, you might as well indulge if you're paying the shipping and you're also paying the outrageous tariffs that I had to pay on it. I decided to order another kit, and this is really just half the kit because you needed twice the amount of this. So I got a delectable, there we go. I couldn't figure out. Okay, so 5 different colors, a delectable collectible shawl kit, and I will pop up right there what that looks like when it's done. Talk about lots of different stitches. Talk about huge shawl. I love this when it came out. I wanted to do it, but I wasn't letting myself start any new knitting projects. And clearly I haven't started it yet. But I was out there looking, and I knew I wouldn't get to free shipping because that's a whole lot. But this is another West Wool, another Stephen West yarn. And it's the bicycle, and they come in 50-gram skeins. So you need 2 of each color for this shawl. But I loved the colors here, and I will not be starting this soon. I shouldn't be starting it soon. But I did go ahead and get the yarn for it. It's going to be really hard because I love to start all the things. That is my favorite part of any project, is just to start the things. It just feels so good. I just love, whether it's knitting, I love casting on. I love cutting for quilting. That is my favorite part of the whole quilting process, is cutting a quilt, cutting out pieces for a new quilt. I love new starts with cross stitch. So it's really hard not to start new things. I'm really, really trying to work through things and get my total number of things that I have started and not finished down. I'm at that point in my life. But with the Mr. Knit Along, I am 100% starting it as soon as the first clue is released. And I think that is, I want to say on the 2nd, the new clue is released. So I know I will start that right away. I actually need to cake these up so they're ready to go. I have my needles, everything all ready to go. I'm not going to keep up. I 100% know I'm not going to keep up. There is tons of knitting for each clue, and then new clue comes out each week. I think only, oh my gosh, I think maybe only twice I have ever kept up, and only for limited weeks. There was just a ton of knitting, and especially with my hand, I just do not think I'm going to be able to get the knitting done. But that's okay. It's not a race. It's not a race. I just am going to do it, and I'm going to enjoy. But it might take away from my stitching a little bit, and you guys might have to deal with knitting updates also. So yeah, that's what we got going on. I think all that I really maybe have left to talk about is plans. So I need to finish that project bags, that FFO that was my goal for September. It's almost the end of September, and I haven't done that yet. So I'll probably do that today as soon as I log off, just so I can say I have that done. So I should have that for you next week. Definitely want to get the Holiday House second part of that done from Satsuma Street. Want to try to catch up as much as I can on Great British Baking Show stitching, keep up on temperature stitching, and probably try to make some headway in the rest of the stitching that I'm a little bit behind on, just because I feel much better when I'm all caught up. And I am very goal oriented. Like, I need to set goals for myself to get anything accomplished. So I have lists and goals and all of those things. I actually, a good friend from the Stitching Connection, one of my night owls, she suggested I put together a Google Sheet and share it with all of my little stitching games and where I'm at on everything and what the rules are, so I don't have to repeat it all the time, which I think would be delightful. And you guys who watch me on any regular basis are probably really sick of hearing me talk about those games and what the rules are with those games. So yeah, I might end up doing that too. And then you guys can see as I'm slowly catching up. I hope that I'll be catching up. Super busy week coming up, super busy week. So this is, I keep saying this is just a bruise from my IV. They put the IV in the back of my hand, which I hate, but anyway. So yeah, super busy week. Days that like Thursdays, usually I don't go into work. I usually stay at home because I don't have any things going on Thursday, unless if it's something special, like meetings. And my entire Thursday is almost booked with meetings this week. And my Tuesday doesn't look that bad. So I might try to switch that out a little bit. But I do have things in the evenings several nights also. So it's going to be hard to make a lot of progress. And then also my sister-in-law is coming into town this coming weekend. So I'm not even sure I'm going to be able to record. I hope that I am. But yeah, so I'm just basically trying to catch up on stitching. I'm going to try really hard not to start Portal. No promises, absolutely no promises. If I start anything, it will probably be this. Because I almost started it last night and I decided to grab something else, some other full coverage that I needed to work on for another one of my stitchy games. And I was just like, yeah, no, let's just do some progress on something else. And that felt good. And that allowed me to not do it for a while, which was nice. So the only other thing I can think of is, so I did a giveaway the last time I did a full video, because I had reached 200 followers, and I announced the winners of that giveaway last week when I didn't film a full video. So I am getting very close to doing another one of those giveaways. I am sitting, last time I looked, like 16 subscribers away from that 250 mark, which is when I had kind of told myself I wanted to do another giveaway. So thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Keep watching. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe and keep watching, because if I get to that mark, my next video, I definitely will do another giveaway. And what I did last time was a $20 gift card to 123 Stitch, because I can send that digitally really easily. I think I might do that again, but do that for like $25 since I'm at $250. But if you guys can think of different places, I picked 123 Stitch because they have a really wide variety of things. So I think everyone could find something there that they wanted. And with all different price points. So that's why I picked them. So it seemed like a really good thing. If there is another place that I'm neglecting, that would be a really good place that people would want gift cards to, that still have like a good variety. Please drop me a comment and let me know. But yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it for today. I think I've rambled a little bit too long, maybe. So thank you for joining. If you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Drop me a comment if you have any questions, any feedback, and I hope to be seeing you next week. I should definitely try to record next week, because if I don't, I think I'm going to Colorado the weekend of the 13th. So I won't be able to record then. I might catch a quick snip with like my granddaughters real quick, but it won't be like a full video. So anyway, have a great week. Keep stitching. Let me know what you think. If you want me just to like give up and start all the things, just enable me and tell me to do that. I will probably gladly take you up on that. And if not, if I don't see you next week, if I don't see you next weekend, I'll try to record throughout the week, since I know I can't record the weekend after that, if that makes any sense. Okay. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you soon. Take care.